Chapter 47, The Powerful Holy Swordsman, Turning on Madness Mode. The fourth round of testing has officially begun. A third skeleton warrior appeared in front of Lin Moyu. 3 skeletons rushed to level 9 and level 13 monsters, one at a time. Instant kill, no suspense. The fire in Lin Moyu's palm flashed, and a flame landed on the head of the mage monster at the back. The same as Spike. From the start of the test, less than 3 seconds. It's almost a matter of breathing. 9 Wolfork warriors and 1 Wolfork mage have been killed. Why does this kid have a third summon creature? This little bastard, why didn't you let him out in the first place, but only now? Stinky boy, why do you like to hide so much? That is, the stronger you are, the happier we are. Ming Xianfeng showed such an expression that it really did. Lin Moyu curled his lips unconsciously. This is the so-called big exam, and it's not too challenging. It's not as exciting as the first time he entered the West Sea Mine dungeon. No surprises. It made him sleepy now. Unconsciously, he took out another piece of sweet potato and ate it slowly. If you don't look at it, don't look at it. It doesn't make any sense to look at this kid. That's right, it's better to look at others. As for Lin Moyu, as soon as the blame comes out, it can be resolved within 3 seconds at most, which is really boring. It's much more interesting to watch other people. 3% if you can't click the login/profile area. Disable content blockers in website settings if you use Safari on iOS. Chapter 47, The Powerful Holy Swordsman, Turning on Madness Mode. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The fourth round of testing has officially begun. A third skeleton warrior appeared in front of Lin Moyu. 3 skeletons rushed to level 9 and level 13 monsters, one at a time. Instant kill, no suspense. The fire in Lin Moyu's palm flashed, and a flame landed on the head of the mage monster at the back. The same as Spike. From the start of the test, less than 3 seconds. It's almost a matter of breathing. 9 Wolfork warriors and 1 Wolfork mage have been killed. Why does this kid have a third summon creature? This little bastard, why didn't you let him out in the first place, but only now? Stinky boy, why do you like to hide so much? That is, the stronger you are, the happier we are. Ming Xianfeng showed such an expression that it really did. Lin Moyu curled his lips unconsciously. This is the so-called big exam, and it's not too challenging. It's not as exciting as the first time he entered the West Sea Mine dungeon. No surprises. It made him sleepy now. Unconsciously, he took out another piece of sweet potato and ate it slowly. If you don't look at it, don't look at it. It doesn't make any sense to look at this kid. That's right, it's better to look at others. As for Lin Moyu, as soon as the blame comes out, it can be resolved within 3 seconds at most, which is really boring. It's much more interesting to watch other people. Advertisement. Xia Shui kept retreating, stepping on a fire path under her feet. The wolf stepped on the flames while chasing Xia Shui, and was constantly under attack. Path of Fire. This is a skill that can only be mastered by a mage at level 10. Once used, it will cause fire damage wherever it passes. It works very well here. Group attack is the strength of the mage. Although the level is not high enough, Xia Shui already has 2 group attack skills at this time. The other is Freezing Rain, which has a slowing effect. With the cooperation of the 2, Xia Shui quickly cleaned up the Wolfork warriors. Relatively speaking, Zhuomei worked much harder. Stalkers are explosive, rich in combat skills, and possess many control skills. Regardless of assassination or one-on-one combat, it is a very good job. The disadvantage is that it is not good at group battles and has no group attack skills. So Zhuomei seems a little weak here, and can only clean up one by one. Wang Zihao still maintains his open and close fighting style. A huge 2-handed sword danced loudly. Either way, it's a good fight. Only Lin Moyu's side, extremely boring. None of the examiners wanted to see him. The time spent in a daze is much more than the time fighting monsters. Don't worry about it, he won the first place again in the 4th round. It depends on whether he dares to participate in the 5th round. Although he is far ahead in points now, if he doesn't participate in the 5th round, he will be caught up. In the 4th round of examination, there are 10 monsters in each batch, and a batch appears every 1 minute. Those who move slowly have already begun to face more and more monsters. When 3 minutes passed, someone had already given up on the test. Too many monsters make them surrounded. They were teleported to the outside of the trial tower one by one. Being eliminated in the 4th place is not ashamed, but also a bit of honor. They are all geniuses, and it is not a problem to enter the top 100 institutions of higher learning in the Empire. The eliminated people all looked happy. There were too many monsters, it was too scary. It was so scary, I thought I was going to be eaten. There are so many monsters, how can I kill them in time? I don't know how many people can pass this round of exams. I thought I was good enough, there are people out there. Speaking of which, that Lin Moyu is too powerful, I guess he won't be able to beat him this time. After Gao Yang persisted until the 5th batch of monsters appeared, he reached his limit and had no choice but to give up. As soon as he came out, he heard someone talking about Lin Moyu. After holding back for a long time, he finally couldn't help but said, "Lin Moyu is my boss, of course he is amazing." "Brother, what's your name?" "It's easy to say, the surname is Gao and the name is Yang, from Shihai No. 1 Middle School." Gao Yang said loudly. It turned out to be Brother Gao. "Brother, tell us how good Lin Moyu is." Gao Yang said with a smile, "It's easy to talk about, I'll talk to you." He started to chatter, and when he mentioned that Lin Moyu took him 10 minutes to complete the nightmare-level dungeon, several people showed expressions of disbelief. How can this be? No one believed it, they all thought Gao Yang was talking big. Gao Yang didn't care if they believed it or not, he just said it himself. He said it's fine as long as it's cool, but this half-day is really suffocating. As more and more people were eliminated, there were fewer and fewer pictures in the control room at the top of the trial tower. In the end, only 5 people remained. Lin Moyu, Xia Shui, Zhuimei, Wang Zihao, and Feng Xiu. Feng Xiu, level 15, holy swordsman. Several examiners were looking at Feng Xiu at this moment. Feng Xiu waved the long sword in his hand and kept walking in the encirclement of monsters. She was as flexible as Zhuimei. Although every attack seemed insignificant, the accumulation of small amounts made up a lot, and the Woshan orcs fell to the ground without knowing it. This guy named Feng Xiu has finally begun to show his strength. Let me just say, holy swordsman is obviously a rare profession. Why did this guy not show his achievements at the beginning? So he was waiting here. He should be from the Sword Cultivator clan, the Feng clan. So knowing the rules of the big exam and knowing the last 2 rounds is the key to increasing the points. So he's only now starting to exert his strength. The Feng family has participated in the formulation of the rules of the big exam, so they are naturally familiar with it. Hey, Wang Zihao is finally willing to go berserk. He's not stupid, he's counting the time, and now is the best time to go crazy. The 7th batch of monsters appeared. With a roar, Wang Zihao activated the Madness skill. Madness, duration of 5 minutes, strength increased by 500%, constitution increased by 500%, agility decreased by 200%. After the berserk effect disappears, it will enter a weak state, which lasts for 30 minutes. After going berserk, Wang Zihao's attack power will increase several times. However, it could only last for 5 minutes, so he waited until the 7th batch of monsters appeared before turning on Madness. 5 minutes is enough. At this time, there were still more than 30 monsters on the field, and with the addition of the 7th batch of monsters, the number reached more than 40. In the berserk mode, Wang Zihao began to scavenge monsters. Every sword sweep can take away 2 or 3 monsters. Start to clear the field quickly. Chapter 48 Battle Space, the real battlefield. After Lin Moyu waited for 1 minute, the last batch of monsters finally appeared. This time the mage was gone, replaced by a boss-level monster. For Lin Moyu, there is no difference. The skeleton warrior rushed up and threw a mess, and then fell completely silent. For Lin Moyu, the 4th round of exams is over. Waiting for someone else now. After waiting for 10 minutes, the 4th round of exams was finally over. The 4th round of exams is over. 120 people participated in the 4th round of examinations, and 5 people passed in the end. Wow! The examiner's voice spread throughout the audience, whether it was inside or outside the tower, everyone heard it. Of the 120 people, only 5 remained. It shows that these 5 people are the real arrogants, enough to squeeze into the top institutions of higher learning. At the same time, the ranking of the 5 players was also distributed. The rankings after the 2nd round will be announced below. 1. Lin Moyu, total points, 3,605 points. 2. Swame, total points, 2,470 points. 3. Xia Shui, 2,270 points. 4th, Wang Zihao, 2,265 points. 5. Feng Xiu, 2,200 points. Lin Moyu is still far ahead. The light shines on the 5 people, and all states are fully restored. Wang Zihao had already fallen into a weakened state after being berserk, but under the light, the weak state disappeared, and the berserk skill could be used again. Everything is as expected. The 5th round is when the winner will be decided. Wang Zihao held a big knife with a smile on his face. Xia Shui let out a long breath. I'm in the top 5, it should be no problem to enter Xiajing Academy. Swame looked solemnly. Xiajing Academy, I'm here. Without exception, the targets of the 5 were all Xiajing Academy. The examiner's voice sounded again. I know you all want to take the Xiajing Academy. But Xiajing Academy is not so easy to take the exam. Don't think that you can sit back and relax after getting the top 5. There is still the last round of exams. If you don't perform well enough, you will be eliminated. If you want to enter Xiajing Academy, use your points to speak for yourself. As long as you can get 10,000 points, I guarantee you can get in. Listen carefully to the rules of the 5th round of exams. All 5 of them pricked up their ears and listened carefully. The 5th round of testing has its own name. It is called the battle space. They will each be sent into a special space. There will be a steady stream of various monsters in it. There will be fighters, mages, archers, and knights. All types of monsters that can be imagined will appear in it one by one. And the number is very large. The first batch will be over 100. Later, there will be enhanced elite, bosses, and even boss. The faster you kill, the more monsters will breed and the faster they will grow. This requires everyone to adjust their attack rhythm. It's not that the faster you kill, the better. The most important thing is the change of points. The changes in the battle space can be divided into 5 stages, and the points in each stage are different. In the first stage, the level of the monster is 15, and you will get 50 points for killing one. In the second stage, when the monster level reaches 16, killing one will get 100 points. Every time a monster is upgraded by 1 level, the points will be doubled. In the 5th stage, when the monster level reaches level 19, you can get 800 points for killing one. These are just ordinary mobs. There are enhanced monsters, elite monsters, bosses, and even higher points. From this point of view, if Lin Moyu loses in this round of testing, the previous leading advantage will no longer exist. It seems a bit unfair. All previous efforts will be in vain. But Lin Moyu wants to understand that for the real strong, the 5th round is where they can play. The function of the big test is to select geniuses who can stand up for the human race. With the end of the countdown, the 5th round of the exam officially began. The 5 remaining people were sent into the fighting space at the same time. In the control room on the top of the tower, the picture of the 5 people also disappeared at the same time. Several examiners showed disappointment. Oh, this is a broken rule, even we can't see it. That's right, the 5th round of the exam is the most exciting part, but we are not allowed to watch it. With our authority, We can only see the changes in points and make judgments. Master Ning, can you watch it? Several examiners looked at Ning Xianfeng at the same time, with anticipation in their eyes. They were really itchy, especially to see how Lin Moyu would fare in the 5th round. Ning Xianfeng glanced over, and said in a flat voice, "I can't see it." All the examiners suddenly showed shock. "I can't even see you." "Then who can check it?" Ning Xianfeng nodded. "In the Empire, there are no more than 10 people who have the right to view the video of the 5th round of the exam." The examiners were even more surprised. No more than 10 people, what kind of big man that is, they dare not even think about it. Ning Xianfeng continued, "Anyway, please remember, this is not something you should inquire about. I am in a good mood today, so I will talk to you a few more words." I know. "Don't worry, we will definitely not inquire." The examiners are not stupid, and they all realize that things must not be simple. But if you lend them courage now, they dare not inquire. In the entire Xianxia Empire, no more than 10 people have this power. Just listening to it is scary enough. The battle space is very wide, it is a huge plain. The ground was pitch black and smelled of blood. There are countless rocks, some of which are several meters high. Such an environment gives professionals room for detours. Lin Moyu's nose twitched slightly. The smell of blood is very strong and full of death. This place has experienced unimaginable battles. As a necromancer, Lin Moyu is particularly sensitive to dead energy. It doesn't matter whether it's the copy of Shihai Mine, or the previous rounds of exams. There is no dead air in it. This place is different now. It's a real death lingering. There have been real life and death battles here, and on a grand scale. The blood soaked the earth, dyed the earth a dark brown, and the smell of blood lingered for years. Is this to let us experience the battlefield in advance? Footsteps sounded, and a group of monsters appeared in sight.